Ako po si Dan, anak po ako ni Nanette and Norman Arambulo. Siguro share ko lang po yung recently po galing po kami ni Tita Mariles and ni Emak sa Africa, particularly sa Malawi. And yun po, gusto ko lang po i-share yung experience kasi coming into the mission, parang nasabi lang sa akin ni Tita Dan, gusto mo bang sumama sa Malawi to do a mission? And then, parang yung mga thoughts na pumasok sa ulo ko, parang, kasi at that time, early into the year, I lost my business. As in, the thing that I've been working on for the past 5 years, one of my mentors, quote unquote, took all of my employees and then made all of my partners quit. And naiwan lahat ng problema na yun sa akin. And I have a lot of money problems back then. Talagang, wow! Grabe, ang dami kong problems. And at that time, I also lost my, I just came from a 6-year relationship also. Parang that didn't go so well, so double sad. Pero, ayun kasi nasad ako dahil, you know, they say the 5 people you spend the most time with are the people that define you. And in that, you know, early this year, I lost all 5 of those people. And yun yung tinanong ko ni Tita So parang, do you want to go to Malawi? Tapos, parang at that moment, parang, Tita, parang no hindi ko kaya. Tsaka also parang Malawi, you know, kind of scary. I didn't know at the time, right? Because when my parents would talk about Africa, parang ano ba yung alam namin? Like, blood diamond. Diba? Yung parang, sabi nila, dadalhin daw ako sa airport, tapos pagdating ko doon, yung taxi, dadalhin ako sa palengke instead of the hotel or somewhere, diba? Parang, tapos biglang ituturo, yan po yung magnanakaw. Parang ganun, pagbibintangan doon or something. Diba? Parang ganun, super horror stories like, what is the place you're going to? It's very far. And yun nga, at that point talaga parang I said, hindi talaga like I don't think that I'm in the headspace to do a mission. I don't think financially I can do a mission. Right now I'm trying to, you know, revive my company. How do I do that? Tapos parang God was asking me to do this. But parang as the time past, doon ko rin na-realize na parang for some reason, nagigising ako sa umaga. Tapos God was telling me like, you know, you should go to Malawi. Parang talagang, parang pinupush ako Like every time I would think about what my next step is, parang God finds a way to put it in my brain that, you know what, you should go to Malawi. And, you know, since parang hindi na rin ako makatulog over that, parang, yun nga, I said yes to Tita. And, you know what? Even though I had nothing, parang thanks to the community, all of my ninongs and ninangs in the audience, malapit na yung Christmas also. But I mean, I'm so thankful because not only because of them, but also because of the community. Even my yung mga kasingles ko, they also helped me. They bought my biryani class. Parang nagtuturo ako ng biryani para lang mag-raise ng funds. And then all of them pooled together the money to help me go to Africa. And yun, nakapunta ako. Diba? And that was not an easy thing. Pero thanks to this community, I got there. And when I got there, diba, initially, ikaw yung missionary. Siyempre parang you feel na parang, oh, I should know more or I should know a lot. Kasi ikaw nga yung missionary, di ba? Sa'yo kukuha ng information sila. But then, at that time, I was so like, parang embarrassed at the fact na, you know what, we're claiming na parang we're like really, we know God a lot and we have all of these institutions. But if you go to Africa, the religion is amazing. Di ba? Sila, ang mass nila, 3 hours. Complete with song and dance. As in, grabe, kaya payat lahat ng tao doon kasi every time talagang, whoa, 3 hours ng ganito. As in, non-stop. As As in, grabe yung sayaw nila. Non-stop. May mas nga kami na attendan, 7 hours. Tapos 5 hours dun, bawat parish may dance number. Talagang, wow! Grabe. At one point, parang pare-parehas na lang yung tunog eh. Pero parang, wow. Diba? That's how much they love God. Parang nakakahiya yun. Kasi also, you know, like, our conversations with the people there, if you ask them about all of the newsletters that Tita Mariles writes, binabasa talaga nila. Not that I don't. But you know, sometimes, diba, parang sila memorize nila lahat eh. If you ask them about the small things, parang, oh, paano yung ginagawa sa ganito? Ano yung mga steps sa ganyan? When it comes to the community, and they know it by heart. So, at that point, parang you feel a little like, parang, wow. Parang, ang galing nila. They know so much. And their religion is yung Catholicism in that area is alive. And parang you think now as a missionary, like, okay, what do I contribute here? Yun nga eh, kasi, sorry, just one last point about that. Sobrang amazing kasi these people, they're so passionate that they would walk 8 kilometers. Walk, not grab or not not drive. Diba? They walk. And it's amazing kasi talagang lalakarin nila yung ganun kahaba para lang mag-attend. And that's, diba? That's amazing. Nakakahiya. And yeah, coming into that event, parang it was fun kasi we were supposed to do an echo conference there. And sabi nila the event was gonna start at 10. Pero pagdating ng 10, parang wala pang tao nandun. So we're like, oh no, paano to? Tapos kami ni Emak, nilapitan namin yung mga tao doon. Tapos, okay, we need to set up the tent. We need to have the audio set up. And tapos sila parang chill lang sila. Okay, fine. Parang ginaganon lang nila kami. Parang, okay, sige. So parang sa utak ko, parang as a missionary na first time, parang, oh, so what am I doing? Siguro ito yung service ko. That's what I can contribute. Maybe it's this. Maybe they don't, hindi sila ganun kasanay mag-events. So parang yun yung tulong namin. But parang after hearing what the people had to say, and parang yung sharing, na-touch ako sa isang sharing ng girl eh. Tapos dun ko naintindihan kung bakit ba kami pumunta dito sa Africa in the first place. Kasi yung sharing niya, parang she was saying na she was speaking in Chichewa, which is the local language, and then she was saying to us that, I'd like to thank all of the missionaries for flying over because it means a lot to us. Because the youth in Malawi, we feel hopeless. And one of the biggest reasons is, apart from the corruption and the difficulty that we have in our country, last month, our only good politician, the only one, he was murdered in an airplane sort of thing. And then she was saying na, parang, I'm so worried because of this. What do I do now? I'm scared about my family. I don't know if I'm still gonna study because overnight the military can just come and I can be raped. Parang yun yung problems nila, and that's what they're scared of. And parang at that moment, like, my heart sank. I was so, I was really like, wow, grabe yun ah. And then I looked to Tita and I said, Tita, kailan ulit yung flight natin? Pauwi. Kasi medyo nakakatakot eh. Diba? Parang, wow, talaga. Ganun. But I realized the reason why God brought me there specifically, just in my perspective, was, diba, even though alam na nila yung ginagawa nila doon, alam nila kung anong ginagawa din nila doon, nung ginagawa natin dito, and at the same time, di ba nga, they have a vibrant church community, parang God sent me halfway across the world to tell those people that God loves them. And yun, diba? That's powerful. Imagine mo, parang someone there, parang prayed na, Lord, mahal mo ba talaga ako? And God literally sent a person na hindi siya available at the time. Pero pinapunta talaga ni God just to tell those people na mahal sila ng Diyos. And I think, wow, that's beautiful. And it helped me work towards my other talks for the remaining sessions, where we talked about parang pushing, which is parang such a new concept for them. Maybe because parang na demoralize na sila sa hirap ng buhay. But parang it became the topic, diba, na you know what, when life gets hard, you have to kanka in their language, which is push, diba? Push lang. Pag nahirapan ka, push lang. And parang I think that's the message that they wanted to hear also. Parang just for some other person to tell them what they already know, that they can do it. So to sort of wrap up my sharing, yeah, I had no money and I was not prepared at the time. Pero when I said yes to God, God provided. Diba? And I'm so thankful for the community na I was able to serve or do my duty as a Catholic and do my part in evangelizing others. Kasi sobrang laking blessing nun. But I didn't do it alone because I think part of mission work is not just you yourself, the individual who's going on mission, but it's also the community, diba, that poured in their effort. And diba, yung kung ikaw hindi ka makakapunta sa Africa mismo, yung mga tao, pwede mo silang tulungan para makapunta doon. And that's also missionary work, isn't it? And I think lastly, parang my biggest takeaway from it is, when God calls you on mission, no one is ever ready, so just say yes. So with that, may God be praised.
Thank you, Brother Dan. So parang inimagine ko yung pagiging missionary pala, hindi siya bed of roses eh. It entails a lot of sacrifice. Thank you, thank you. Pero sabi nga ni Father kanina, di ba? Love can be manifested in a sacrifice. So thank you. Next to share po, ayan, isang single ulit, si Brother Mac. Mac Ramos.
Hello po. Good evening po, titos and titas. So, ako po pala si Emak from Cluster 1 po. Dati po akong cluster servant ng Cluster 1. So, share ko lang po yung naging experience ko po sa pagmi-mission. So, simula po nung nalipat po ako dito sa CFL or simula po nung tanggapin ko yung or nung nag-transition po sa CFL, naging lang po ako member hanggang sa naging servant, chapter servant, then naging cluster. So, ang goal ko lang po kasi dati is pumunta po ako dito para i-continue po yung service ko bilang isang servant po natin dahil yung mga members ko, yung mga parents nila nandito, so dito na rin po ako pumunta. Ayan. So, dito po nag-start yung pagiging isang missionary ko. Yung CFL po yung pakita sa akin kung gaano kagaling si Kristo sa bawat buhay natin. And dito rin sa community na to, and kami ng mga youth, isa sa nag-start ng mission work sa Bulacan. And after ng Bulacan na yun, doon na nag-umpisa na dumami, nagkaroon ng San Ildefonso, Tarlac, Pangasinan, napunta kami ng Surigao, and kung saan-saan pang part ng Pilipinas. Kahit sa Palawan, nakapunta din kami. And sobrang nakakatuwa lang kasi hindi ko iniisip na mapupunta ako sa ganung situation. Lagi ko lang ginagawa, every time natatawag si Tito J sa akin, kahit na hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin, every time natatawag siya, sabi, bigla na lang magre-ring, Mac, pwede ka man tawagan, yan, may message mo na siya. Tapos sabihin niya anong gagawin. Sabi niya, ready ka ba? Pupunta tayo sa Palawan, ganyan, may mission tayo. Ako, kahit hindi ko naman alam yung gagawin ko, feeling ko hindi ako equipped para doon, lagi lang ako nagsasay yes kay Tito J. To the point na sobrang dami na naming pinupuntahan, ginagawa. Minsan, hindi ko na nakakasama yung pamilya ko. Yan. Di ba dati nag-aaral ako every Monday to Friday, tapos yung Saturday, Sunday ko, attend ako sa community, ganyan. Minsan, yung Sunday ko, family day, tapos after magmas, kumain, pupunta ulit sa activity ng CFL. And sobrang saya para sa akin. And sobrang overwhelm and sobrang nakakataba ng puso na sobrang dami ko natutunan sa community na to. And ito yung humubog sa akin sa kung ano ako ngayon. And ngayon, kahit na nag-work na ako, nandito pa rin ako, nagsuserve. After ng pandemic, nahirapan kami na buhayin yung lahat ng mission areas na naiwan sa youth, yung Bulacan and Tarlac. So, after ng pandemic, parang nag-start kami from scratch. So, lahat ng activities inulit namin sa kanila, pinuntahan ulit namin sila para mabuo. And nakakatuwa lang dahil yung Tarlac ngayon is stable na siya and kaya niya nang tumayo, mag-conduct ng Damascus, kaya niya nang magpa-activity mag-isa. And masaya ako dahil isa ako sa ginawang instrumento ni Lord para mabuo yun. And sobrang grateful din ako sa community na to na isa rin akong pinili para tulungan makapag-evangelize ng ibang tao. And dahil doon sa mga mission na yun, isa rin ako sa na-top para umattend ng conference or mag-mission para sa Africa. Sobrang hindi ko rin inaasahan kasi first, hindi pa ako nakakapag-international na travel or pumunta sa ibang bansa. Yung Malawi mission namin, yun yung pinaka-first na out of the country ko. And nung una, 2 months before, tinawagan ako ni Tito J, sabi niya, Mac, ready ka ba for mission? Ako, syempre, dahil lagi lang ako umuo kay Tito J, sabi ko, yes po, Tito. Tapos, kahit anong lugar yung sabihin niya, okay lang sa akin. So, sinabi niya sa Malawi, ganito, ganyan. Sabi ko, okay po, Tito. Pwede po ako dyan. Pero hindi ko iniisip kung ano yung mangyayari sa akin. So, habang papalapit na yung mission, doon ako kinabahan. Kasi hindi ko naisip pala na, Africa. Parang maraming, nung nagpe-prepare kami, nagpa-check up pa kami sa doctor, nagpa-injection pa kami. And nung kinakausap ko yung doctor, sabi niya, possible na pag pumunta kayo ng Africa, magkaroon kayo ng ganitong sakit, malaria, or kung ano-ano man. So parang, nung point na yun, parang medyo natakot na ako. Natakot ako na, baka kung anong mangyari sa akin doon. So, nung time na parang nagkaroon ako ng doubt sa mission or doubt sa sarili ko na kakayanin ko ba pag nandun ako. So, bago ko pumunta doon, 1 month before, nag-fasting ako, prayers and yung mga bagay na lagi kong ginagawa. Or, di ba, every time naman sa youth, nakaugalian namin na every time na may activity kami, nagkakaroon kami ng fasting. It's either hindi kami mag-Facebook or iiwasan namin mga ganitong bagay. So, ginawa ko yun. In preparation, para pagdating sa mission, ay prepared ako and ready yung puso or yung posture ng puso ko pagdating sa talks and pagdating sa worship and pag-lead ng activity. So, yung time na yun, syempre, kung ano-ano na yung mga pumapasok sa isip ko kasi yung ibang tao sinasabi na, bakit kayo pupunta dyan? Mainit dyan, ganito, ganyan. Wala ba kayong ibang pwedeng ipadala dyan, bakit kayo, ganyan. And parang kung ano-ano na yung pumapasok sa isip ko. So, habang tumatagal, habang papalapit yung mission, parang kinakabahan ako sa pinasok kong mission na yun. And sobrang nakakatuwa lang na nung nagkita na kami ni Tita Mariles, nag-meeting and all, so diniscuss nila yung mga bagay na pwede naming makita or ma-experience doon. And hindi ko ma-imagine na, sabi kasi di ba pagka Africa, Malawi, mainit. Pero nung pumunta kami doon, brothers and sisters, sobrang lamig. Sobrang hindi ko inaasahan na ganun. To the point na kada gabi, nanginginig ako, sobrang lamig. Ganyan, meron pang warmer na binigay sa akin para lang mainitan. And sobrang, yung mga in-expect ko na bagay na mangyayari sa akin, hindi yun yung pinadama sa akin ni Kristo. Nag-aalangan ako na baka mainitan ako, nag-aalangan ako pero baka hindi maayos yung kakainin namin doon kasi syempre, pagka-Africa, iba yung tingin, di ba? Pero, grabe, sobrang ganda ng experience namin sa Malawi. And sobrang tabahan ng puso yung tao, yung couples na nandun. And sobrang galing ni Lord na hindi niya kami pinabayaan doon. Siguro ang pinaka-struggle lang namin doon is yung nahirapan kami sa luggage namin. Okay? Kasi brothers and sisters, yung luggage namin nawala doon sa airport. Okay? So 2 araw kami na walang t-shirt, 2 araw kami na nanghiram pa ako kay Dan ng shorts para may gamitin ako. And yun yung pinaka-challenge sa amin. Pero sa akin, dahil pinipare ko yung sarili ko sa mga ganung bagay, okay lang siya sa akin, hindi siya mabigat para sa akin. Pero yung mga bagay na inaasahan ko na mas mabigat pa na dadating, hindi siya dumating. Dahil sobrang galing ni Lord na naging comfortable kami sa buong pagtulog namin. Walang nakagat ng lamok, walang nainitan. And sobrang iba yung iniisip ko bago ko pumunta sa nadatnan ko doon. And brothers and sisters, I encourage you to also try to go to mission. Kasi minsan, iniisip natin na mahirap, iniisip natin na hindi natin kakayanin. Pero, syempre isipin natin kung bakit din natin gagawin yung mission na yun. To evangelize and ipakita kung gano'n naging magaling si Kristo sa bawat buhay natin. And syempre, part ng mission, yung pagiging pagsasacrifice ng kung ano yung nakagisnan natin sa bahay natin or kung ano man. And sobrang nakakatuwa na in-honor ko din si Tita Mariles kasi sobrang naging lahat ng bagay parang iba yung kinagisnan niya sa bahay, syempre. And pagdating namin doon, iba yung nangyayari, ganun. And sobrang naging open lang si Tita sa mga nangyayari doon and tinanggap niya. And sobrang na-inspire din ako sa tao na nandun. To the point na naisip ko na hindi ako pumunta doon para mag-share. Napunta ako doon para mas matuto sa kanila. And yung mga natutunan ko, gusto kong i-share dito sa community natin and sa mga members natin sa buong CFL. And mas na-inspire pa ako mag-mission and pumunta pa sa iba't ibang lugar. Ngayon, bukas, meron pa kaming activity para sa youth namin. So, may mission kami sa Cavite para magbigay ng live talks or para umpisa na yung youth natin sa Cavite. And sa mga susunod pang araw, next week, pupunta naman kami sa Kalibo. So, sobrang naka-inspire, sobrang tabahan ng puso yung mga bagay na nangyayari once na mag-yes ka lang kay Lord. Huwag mong isipin yung bagay na negative. Kasi lagi natin tatandaan, kaya nga tayo tinawag. Kasi alam niyang kaya natin. Hindi tayo pipiliin kung alam niyang mag-fail tayo sa ganitong bagay. And lagi natin tatandaan, kung ano man yung ibibigay niya sa atin, tutulungan niya tayo. And hindi niya tayo papabayaan sa kailangan maging successful yung mga bagay nun. Every time nga na nagkakaroon kami ng activity or conference, sila Ate Ina, sobrang, minsan every time na mag-meeting kami, may problema, ganito, ganyan. Pero at the end of the conference, nagiging okay din naman. Siyempre, dahil yun kay Lord. And sobrang isa yun siguro sa mga natutunan ko sa community na to. And nagpapasalamat ako sa buong CFL dahil tinutulungan nyo kami and mas ini-inspire and mas pinapalapit nyo pa kami kay Kristo. And for that, may God be praised.
Thank you, Emma. And sa third na sharer po natin, of course, si Sister Mariles Borja.
Good evening. Good evening, brothers and sisters. I'm Mariles Borja. I'm a member of the Governance Council, a member of the Faith Formation Center at Cluster 4 Singles Coordinator. Good evening. I have been called to a mission. I've been called to mission for family and life. 3 punto lang po. Ang unang punto ay God's dream. Yung ikalawa naman ay tungkol sa take nothing for the journey. At ang ikatlo naman ay gratitude. Okay, yung unang punto, God's dream. Nagsimula yung, what do you call this? Yung trip. Yung trip sa Malawi ay 18 hours long. Flying time lang yan. So nung sinabi ni Dan kanina, talagang literally halfway across the world ito. But you know, hindi lang 18 hours yung trip. Yung trip nagsimula sa akin noong 2023 pa lamang. During the Faith Rally, meron isang activity na nagdasal kami. At ang dasal ay to discern, di ba yung theme natin last year, set the world on fire. So yung tanong sa atin, yung discernment ay, saan ka ba pinapadala ni Lord? At if you remember, some of you were there, di ba? Kinuha natin yung flame at may map ng Pilipinas at nilagay natin kung saan tayo pinapadala. At meron din world map. At nung akong naglalagay na, nilagay ko sa Malawi. Tapos nakita ko, wala nang ibang naglagay, ako lang. But this is where the Lord has led me. Hindi ko choice. Si God ang nagpadala sa akin. But you know, I didn't know what was gonna happen after that. Ang alam ko lang, basta gusto ni Lord, pupunta ako sa Malawi. God's dream ito. And nung nakausap ko si Brother George ng Malawi, sabi niya, punta ka sis ng 2025. So akala ko talaga 2025, but God be praised, biglang may opportunity, and this 2024, last August, pinadala kami. Tapos sabi ko, Lord, mag-isa lang ako, hindi pwedeng mag-isa, di ba? Kailangan may kasama. Kasi di ba, at least 2, di ba, for the mission. So sabi ni God sa akin in prayer, tanungin mo si Dan Arambulo, mag-yes yan. So tinanong ko si Dan, ang sagot niya sa akin, no. So sabi ko, bahala ka Lord, ikaw nagsabi. But you know, in our next prayer meeting, habang nagdadasal kami, sabi niya, and you know, I'm saying yes to the Lord. Sabi niya, tita, nag-yes na ako. So biglang, sabi ko, galing mo Lord. Ipapadala mo si Dan para hindi na ako nag-iisa, di ba? 2 na kami. And then nagtanong ako sa iba-ibang mga singles kasi dapat kasi may youth at singles. Lahat sila hindi pwede. Tapos yung nag-yes, biglang nasa office kami. I think it was the office blessing. Sabi ni Tito JC Book, sasama na sa'yo si Emma. Talaga? Praise God. So 3 kami, para kamang Trinity, di ba? 3 kaming pumunta sa Malawi. So number 1, God's dream, di ba? Hindi ko man talagang ginusto, pero the Lord wanted us to go. Second, take nothing for the journey. Alam nyo ba? Hindi pa. Hindi pa. Alam nyo ba? Gosh, yung gamit namin, tinanong, ang kulit-kulit ko sa airline. are you sure? Kasama yung baggage namin, papunta sa Malawi. Sabi na, oo, nandito sa sistema namin. Kasama na. Siyempre, pagdating namin doon sa airport, wala. Wala. Wala kaming damit. So when we got there, buti lang yung host namin ng bait. Talagang very generous. So, ultimo, sabihin ko na, underwear, wala. Socks, hindi naman shoes, slippers, a beautiful, pajamas, pati na, alam mo, naiwan pa yung mga conference shirts namin kasi naiwan namin ni Emma sa mga bagahe namin. So, pati na CFL shirt, they lent me, talagang lahat provided for. But yung sense na talagang I had to be utterly dependent sa mga host, di ba? Di ba minsan nakakahiya? But wala na lang, humility na lang, di ba? Basta, Lord, sige, I'll leave it up to you. And the Lord provided. So hindi ako nawala ng kahit ano, I was able to wear clothes. And you know, like Jesus, di ba, hindi lang 2 days, 3 days, finally God gave us back our luggage. So after 3 days, when we really I needed my medicines kasi I'm still taking my cancer meds. I needed that. And on the 3rd day, the Lord gave it to us. So take nothing for the journey. And thirdly, gratitude. Alam nyo, pagpunta nyo on mission, you will feel parang hindi kayo karapat-dapat. Parang ang gagaling ng mga sharing nila, ang pinagdaanan ng mga sisters and brothers, parang sabi mo talaga, wow, parang Lord, you're so good. And did you know that Malawi is called the heart of Africa? The heart of Africa. At sinabi ko sa mga CFL Malawi, alam nyo, kayo ang puso ng Malawi, as CFL Malawi. And the Lord has great things for Malawi kasi alam nyo, in Africa is the fastest growing number of Catholics in the world. Dumadami sila, grabe. And when we arrived, feel nila, feel ko, artista ako. Because they were so they felt so honored na mga taga-Pilipinas nag-visit sa kanila. So, I felt so humbled, di ba? They even composed 2 songs, hindi lang isa. 2 songs to welcome us. So, Malawi is growing so much. The youth, alam mo, 30 youth. Mas madami pa yung youth nila kesa sa couples. Ganon kagrabe, you know. And as Dan and Emma already said, we were so blessed. So blessed. So tamang sinabi ni Dan at Emma, mag-yes lang kayo. And please don't say no, kahit na Africa. Kasi you will be utterly blessed. So just say yes, and you will really be blessed. May God be praised. Thank you.
Family and life we are. Catholics for family and life we are. Catholics for family and life.